Welcome to my channel. Today I want to speak about anxiety and panic attacks and how panic attacks can be confused with heart attack symptoms and how to distinguish them and what you can do in order to help yourself if you are experiencing these symptoms. First of all, we are going to discuss about common symptoms, what is most feared, presentation, and this video has three goals. First of all, clarify what a panic attack is and why it can feel so powerful in body, and to explain how we approach the question, is there a panic attack or a heart attack, from a clinical perspective. And we are going to outline a short, in-the-moment crisis protocol and summarize evidence-based approaches that break the panic cycle long-term. This video doesn't diagnose and doesn't replace treatment, but it provides with useful, accurate information, because accurate information reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is one of panic's biggest fuel sources. You know, the people who fear, am I going crazy, while they are experiencing panic attack? No, you are not going crazy. Your nervous system is running, and in a moment we'll decide it together. Let me start with a brief example. A person who is experiencing panic attacks, they might have their heart rate might rise, their chest might tighten, their breathing might become difficult, and the first thoughts that are generally people have is that I'm having a heart attack, and then they rush to a medical center in order to be checked, and tests normally come normal, and they go home, and after a while it happens again, and this time the fear is bigger, so they must have missed something, and their avoidance begins that they can't go to the mall, can't take elevators, and can't be alone. And this example shows the two layers of panic attack. First of all, there are physical symptoms that are present, such as heart rates, breathing, dizziness, and this interpretation comes with these symptoms. I'm in danger, I'm dying, I'm losing control. And what usually enlarges the cycle is the second layer, misinterpretation. Because when you are thinking that you might have a heart attack, the fear increases and anxiety increases, and this cycle increases. A panic attack is a sudden wave of intense fear or discomfort accompanied by physical symptoms. And biological basis is very straightforward. The brain's alarm system, amygdala, and related circuits send a signal that says danger, and the body responds with high heart rate, breathing becomes faster, muscle tension, and attention locks onto the threat. So panic attack is not something the person is making up, it's a physiological response. And the problem is sometimes your nervous system sends a false alarm. And if the alarm is accurate, fight or flight is useful. But if it's false, it exhausts the person. So what I mean by it, if there is a real situation that needs to feel scared or threatened, then it can be useful for you to avoid certain things or to stop doing things in order to keep yourself safe. For instance, imagine if something has happened while you were in the elevator, and if there is a real alarm and danger in the elevator, it can be useful for you not to use the elevator. But if there is no real danger, but if you still experience panic attack or anxiety, and if you are not using the elevator, in the long run, this might be challenging for you and might complicate your life. Therefore, becoming aware of the thoughts that you are having at that moment and asking yourself, is there a real danger? Is whatever your mind is telling you at that moment really exists? And helping yourself to ground, like taking breathing exercises, noticing what's around you, and trying to connect with the real world can help you to stay calm during those moments. And if you will be able to understand which situations and which thoughts are triggering anxiety and panic attacks. These symptoms are one of the easiest diagnosis or symptoms that can be treated. Once you will become aware of your thoughts and what's triggering it, you can slowly teach yourself that this situation is not as dangerous as you thought, and there is nothing to feel scared about it. So, in short, your body can be shouting fire, but there is no fire. And now let's come to the most sensitive question. Is this panic or is it a heart attack? So, in order to understand it, if you are experiencing panic attacks and if you are having high heart rates, it can be useful to visit the doctor and check. However, if the doctor is saying that there is nothing to feel scared about and that this is the panic attack, there is no need to worry again, because panic attacks are not harmful and they cannot do anything to your health. Even some of the approaches are trying to make the heart rate even higher, like whenever you are experiencing heart attack. Some approaches are trying to help you by encouraging you to increase the heart rates. And that's how you realize that there is nothing to feel scared about it and it's not harmful. And calling everything panic and downplaying medical risk is wrong. Interpreting every palpitation as a heart attack and living in an endless ER loop is also wrong. So, general clinical principle is if chest pains, shortness of breath, fainting, or severe symptoms are new, intense, and accompanied by risk factors, then an emergency medical evaluation is essential. I'm not excluding medical care here, and I'm teaching you how to recognize the panic pattern accurately. Features that suggest a panic attack are symptoms rise suddenly and typically decrease like a wave within 10 to 30 minutes. So, maximum amount of panic attack symptoms that you might have is 30 minutes. And also reminding yourself during the moments when you will have panics about it that this shall pass and maximum it's going to last for 30 minutes can also be useful in order to calm yourself down and to be able to bear these uncomfortable feelings. Actually, panic attack is being extended because of your secondary reaction to the symptoms. So even if you cannot control the first reaction, such as thoughts and these physical symptoms, you are capable of, and you can choose how long this panic attack going to last, because your secondary reaction oftentimes is the reason why panic attack is increasing. So if you will be able to embrace these symptoms with calmness and to find thoughts or memories that you had from the past that panic attacks are not dangerous and that it's going to pass, helping yourself to ground and to use breathing exercises. Generally, it will last less, and by receiving required care, by attending psychotherapists, you will notice that duration of panic attacks would decrease slowly, and eventually you will learn to cope with them with easiness. So, panic attacks are generally accompanied by catastrophic thoughts such as I'm dying, I'm losing control, and symptoms might fluctuate from one moment palpitations, then breathing, then dizziness. And after the episode, many people are having thoughts, what if it happens again? And this might cause avoidance behavior. For instance, if you had a panic attacks while you were shopping, you might start to avoid shopping malls or places where trade is happening. And actually, this is just increasing anxiety, because once you start to avoid certain things, behaviors, or circumstances, environments, your brain codes it as if it's a risk factor and that you need to be cautious about it. And even if shopping mall is not dangerous, and you are aware of it, constantly avoiding it would increase your anxiety even more, and it will be more challenging to cope with anxiety. Therefore, trying to expose yourself to situations that cause anxiety and fears are the way of overcoming anxiety and decreasing it. If you have cardiovascular risk or the symptoms that are new, unfamiliar, medical evaluation is important. But if the panic cycle is identified and doctor said that there is nothing to feel scared and that your heart condition is good, the treatment path is clear. Understanding how panic attack works, trying to understand this cycle, and using psychotherapy, and in some cases medication support might be needed if the medical personnel has prescribed it. So now I'll share a practical protocol that you can use during a crisis, and I'm not presenting it as a magic trick, but its purpose is to reduce behaviors that feed the alarm system, to regulate your body, and to soften the mind's catastrophic interpretation. So at the times when you will be having these symptoms, it's important to talk to yourself kindly and to try to ground yourself. For instance, you might tell something like, I'm experiencing a panic wave right now, and this is not danger, it's an alarm response, and naming it reduces uncertainty in the brain. And during panic, many people try to take a deep breath, and this oftentimes end up with hyperventilating. And therefore, like using controlled exhales and learning breathing exercises before and trying to use them in a controlled manner can help to stay grounded, to bring yourself to the present moment. And as you are doing breathing exercises, relaxing your shoulders, pressing the soles of your feet into the ground, or touching any objects, touching yourself, your hands, washing your face with cold water can also help you to stay grounded and bring your attention to the present moment. And changing your position, physical position, if you are standing, for instance, trying to walk, moving, can help to send messages to your brain that you are managing and you are safe. So after having panic attacks for several times, you would notice that oftentimes your mind will try to go either to the past or to the future, catastrophizing about what might happen or what has happened in the past. So naming things around you in the room or trying to notice who is there with you, where are you, asking yourself what's the date. And as I said, touching yourself, there is a strategy called happening. If you will be interested, you can research it. And learning different strategies that can help you to stay in the present moment, to bring yourself in the present moment, would be the fastest way to decrease symptoms of panic attacks. So all of these strategies and techniques would help you to understand that you are here and you are safe right now. And using these strategies would help to bring your brain from writing a disaster script, you bring it back to the table called now. And this cycle, this would help you to break this cycle, because when the panic attack starts, what's happening is that first you have physical sensation. After that, you have catastrophic interpretation of your symptoms, and then fear and anxiety arises and increases, and this causes more physical sensation, and afterwards this is resulted in avoidance, and avoidance causes more anxiety, more increased sensitivity. So the only way to break the cycle is that to remind yourself about the present moment, to help yourself to calm down, and to question whether your thoughts are real and how close they are to reality. And further mistakes that increase avoidance and make the cycle grow is that constant checking, measuring pulse, testing, breathing, Googling repeatedly, or avoidance, not entering emails, not taking elevators, not being alone. And another thing that panic attacks is reassurance behaviors, such as constantly checking, is everything okay? This reduces anxiety in the short term, but in the long term, they teach the brain that if I'm constantly doing this, it's really dangerous and escaping must be necessary. And panic becomes easier to trigger. Therefore, for lasting solutions, researching about panic attacks, what is it, explaining yourself about the symptoms and realizing that symptoms are not dangerous and checking with medical doctor if you really think that you might have problems with heart. And after that, exposing yourself to situations that trigger your anxiety and panic attacks by the help of psychotherapy or specialists and using medications when needed can help to decrease the symptoms and to heal in the long run. So, whenever you are experiencing these symptoms of panic attacks, it's not your weakness, it's just a sign that you are a human, that some certain things are important for you. And panic attacks are terrifying, but they are not dangerous. What becomes dangerous is letting them run your life, making them to control your life. If you want to understand and retrain your anxiety system, this week, a calm moment once a day. Try learning any exercises, grounding exercises that might help you. And try to remind yourself at the times when you will have panic attacks that there is nothing to feel scared and these symptoms are not dangerous. And if you found these videos useful, don't forget to share it with your friends. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask in the comments. Thank you for your time and see you in the next videos.